straight away, Curse will not get his Renekton. That's been a priority ban for many teams going up against OMG this split.
Yeah, and the two other ones that jump out to me are both of OMG spans, where we know a Hacker prefers to get his hands on either a Lee Sin or a Trundle.
Yep.
He's actually only played the Volley Bear a couple of times himself, so banning that one away from Ning, who's looked amazing on that pick. Getting the set out of there as well. These are just two strong, very good at early skirmishing, very good in the team fights, and that's where Ning has excelled this split.
But I'm curious, because what we've already seen today is, a lot of Caitlyn, a lot of Lux. We've changed priorities of pick and ban. I'm curious with the Syndra ban where IG go first.
I would still just like to see the Ashe, honestly. I feel like Ashe is our highest priority AD carry. The thing about IG is, since Puff is one of those people who just loves playing Ezreal, I could see if IG don't opt into it. But actually, since we've changed to 10-15, Ashe is 7-0 right now.
Oh, really?
Yep, she's not lost a game in the past few days. But
Kalista.
Ooh, yeah. And we need to remember, right, that this is the flex. This
Oh,
is most
yeah.
likely going towards top lane. This is banned almost every game against
Kalista
IG.
is banned against IG 64% of the time. Has been from week number 1.
Yeah, we haven't seen it, and it's such a pick that doesn't get left open almost ever. I'm sorry for my words. That you just tend to forget about it. But going to be interesting to see what Curse can answer into it, or if they just give it to Puff, because it's also Puff's most played solo queue.
Yes, it is. But in the LPL, he's only played it a couple of times.
I remember
only played it once.
In spring, he played it once, he lost,
Yeah.
and then they went to giving it back to the Shy.
Now, the Shy has gotten this pick. Of course, he won on it because the Shy on Kalista has a pretty nice win rate. I think it's 80% in his career. We'll progress forward, though. Let's leave that as a flex for now. There is a Trundle being looked at.
I expect Hacker to lock us in. We said these are his two go-to champions. Lee Sin at 13 games, played Trundle at 9, so it's going to be pretty surprising they don't go for that. But OMG going back to the Aphelios, honestly, after all the nerfs has gotten patch after patch, I really don't feel like it is in a spot where it really demands to be prioritized. I would have much preferred to see the Ashe come out here, but they do go with the Aphelios to get SMLZ on a scaling champion, and then pairing it with the Thresh makes sense to at least shore up the lack of mobility.
Also for Sora, this is a pick that he's only played once before, but we know Sora in the past couple of series, especially on his Bard, has been having a good performance, so I'm excited to see it.
This is also Ning's third most played as well,
Yes,
so Trundle a good takeaway. Probably why OMG was hovering and saying, hey, we know you're going to take this pick if we don't, so I wonder what OMG's answer is going to be. In the Nautilus coming out in the bot lane, put a bit of threat onto that Aphelios, and also have some pretty good trades into the Thresh as well, since you are the tankier champion.
But Hacker, limited options on the board with no Lee Sin, no Trundle that he gave up to Ning.
Yeah, and he's hovered both the Graves and the Kindred. Both are two good answers into the Trundle, now locking in the Graves. He's only played it 3 times this split. He's been much more of a pull off these early ganks, facilitate his lanes type of jungler, rather than looking for counter jungling, looking to be a big threat in the team fights himself. So Hacker stepping into a bit of unfamiliar territory, and when it's a member that we expect to see him do so much for OMG to find a win, I find it a very interesting choice.
Okay. What does it get paired with? Still need solo laners here for OMG. They're starting to ban out some themselves. Going towards rookies mid, because what we talked about with this AD carry flex.
We still have the Zoe open, which obviously when you have Icon on the Rift, I think is the one that jumps out to you, especially with a LeBlanc ban. It is one of the tougher, it's still a skill matchup for Zoe in my opinion, but one that certain players don't want to opt into, especially when you have Rookie on the other side of the Rift. You definitely don't want him getting his hands on that LeBlanc.
Can I just say, the Camille ban, does that give anything away to you?
I mean, I still expect this Kalista to go towards the top lane. Just by the fact it's a Shy, no matter what the bans end up being, it's just such the Shy champion. If you go check his OPGG right now, he's still just spamming 80 carries and solo queue nonstop.
One of the players that you can't pull a blind Renekton to in.
The thing is, you still have a bunch of options left for Puff, right? You still have the Ezreal open, you still have the Ashe, so you don't feel choked out in the AD carry position if you don't want to leave the Shy on the Kalista.
There's a double top lane ban here from IG. Now options available for OMG. And Icon's been playing this heavily recently. Has been doing pretty well in lane with it.
It's strange because, so they've been opting into playing so much scaling lately. Like you said, we've been seeing pretty much the Azir and Orianna almost every game out of Icon. He's looked phenomenal on the picks, but strange to me when you had the setup for the Zoe pick, right? Pairs decently well with the Graves. You at least have the trouble bubble to try to set up the Graves damage coming out.
Yeah.
But instead just saying, hey, we realize Icon needs to be one of the star carries of this team and going to go back to something that really allows him to facilitate the game.
Let's find out. The Shy loves Jace as well. But the thing is, Rookie plays this pick
Yes.
That's what is annoying about IG drafts.
We don't know until they lock in this last pick because, like you said, Rookie played this many times back in spring. And it looks like it is probably going to be for the shot. And once again, Zoe actually isn't a champ that Rookie plays all too often himself. He's actually only played it twice this split, so it's kind of nice that they're showing more faith in Puff because we said, hey, he played this champion once, he lost, he never got to play it again. And now we see them going for this comp that obviously has more elements of, you know, Siege and Poke there with the Jace, the Zoe, obviously the Pillar coming in from the Trundle as well. You're going to do very good in front of structures, in front of turrets, so IG having a very IG-esque composition, and now OMG locking in the Ornn, obviously going to have a fine time into the Jace. You have so many options with your build, even if you need to just rush something like a Bramble Vest, you're going to do completely fine in that lane, so OMG have indexed all into late game team fight.
Yeah. Pretty obvious to see here with the final pick of the Ornn. You know, part of me is a little bit sad that we don't see the Shy and Kalista top, but the fact that OMG gave it over to Invictus Gaming was already such a risk. But going back onto his Jace, he's one of the few people still picking this up in the LPL. I don't think anyone else has as much love for the champion at the moment as he does.
I want to be honest, I don't feel like we really ever see it work out, even despite the wins on it, right? They won with it against top esports, but you just saw how little damage it was doing up against these comps that could just have such an easy way of drafting and picking up armor items, especially now where, you know, AD carries have such an easy time of buying Death Stance. And against top esports, it was against Ezreal, so he's going to get Iceborne Gauntlet as well.
Sure.
Definitely just shows the confidence that the Shy has on this pick, and it's, you know, confidence that everyone knows well.
But it is a top lane where he's going to have a bit of fun into the Ornn, right? Where we see Jace versus Ornn, and we expect, well, should the Shy be leading this lane? Should it be about dominance through lane or something else?
Yeah, I mean, we should definitely expect him to be up in the laning phase. Again, it's going to depend on where Curse goes with his build, how lane dependent, right? If he rushes something like an early Ninja Tabby and, you know, maybe a Bramble Vest, it actually won't be too bad of a laning phase for him. Especially when you look at the fact that he drafted this Ornn and they have the Graves, one of the only real reliable CCs other than the Thresh in the bot lane, but within a Felix, you don't expect Graves to go there really, so... Yep. I do expect OMG to play up towards topside early on.
As usual.
Yeah, as usual. Even against IG, it's just making more sense. Then you throw the Jace in there. So all the factors tell me OMG is going to try and shut down the Shy.
As a lot of teams have tried to do. And, to be fair, at the start of the split, a lot of teams were successful. IG were a team that were 5-3. Right now, they're on a 6-series win streak. Sitting at 11-3 right now. As we wait to get into this game number 1, IG already secured for playoffs. Just a note, OMG or not, you would have heard us talk a lot about Invictus Gaming in this series so far. OMG were out of playoffs last week. 3-10 right now. It's been a disappointing split for them because spring they were in this position where they were contesting playoffs. They missed out by a couple of series.
They were our FPX in the sense that we've had FPX on 8 for weeks. They have really been that gatekeeper of the playoff spot, and that was OMG. OMG actually lost on the very last day in a Game 3 to WE to lose their playoff spot.
And it was sad because OMG looked like a potential playoff team when they were playing some of their best League of Legends. You know, Hacker's Performance Icon was playing some pretty decent League of Legends. How they played towards topside for Curse. It's a team that knew its identity, knew its plan, but even here in summer, they've fallen down a little bit, and we're at a point where throughout the series you hear us talk a lot about IG and their run into playoffs. They have 2-1'd a lot of teams. Lyric, once again, IG, the team that goes to Game 3 probably the most in the LPL.
IG were that team that would like go with the Game 1 draft of just picking all their favorite champions, right? We'd see the Jace, we'd see the Orianna, we'd see the Ezreal, and then the enemy team would actually have a much more coherent draft and shut them down. And then it would typically be the Game 2 where, you know, the light bulb kind of switches on and they start drafting a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't want to say seriously because that Game 1 draft from them was serious, but something that made more sense. They're actually taking into account what the enemy was picking up as well and actually started, you know, playing out the map correctly.
They're like a chef, you know, trying something and going, oh, that taste doesn't work out well. Let's go back to what we know. You know, I'm not going to do the burger analogy.
They're actually kind of the opposite.
You reckon?
They're like a chef that will make their favorite dish first. And like let's say it's a cooking contest or something, and it won't stack up to what this, you know, premier, you know, 5-star chef is making, and then they actually have to like try hard and pull out some like famous recipe.
That's better. That's so much better. Either way, they're a chef.
True.
Exquisite League of Legends. That's what we expect to see. We are currently on a bit of a snag here by the looks of the stage, so find out what the delay is very shortly and get back to you hopefully soon. But at this point, OMG just trying to show us what they got left in the tank for 2020. They are a team that don't want to go out empty-handed at the very least.
Yeah, and we've seen, right, they are at least trying to look towards 2021 by bringing Sora into the roster with using Eric in their last series. So it is nice to see. Kind of moving into this game, one thing I'm interested to see is what rune Rookie takes on Zoe, since we have seen, you know, the Unstone Spellbook nerf. So a lot of people are starting to move away from that rune.
Yep. So Airy last game.
Yep, and one thing that's actually very popular in solo queue among Zoe one-tricks has always been Dark Harvest.
Oh, really?
They go Dark Harvest, and they go like first item Proto Belt into Lichbane. It's much different take on Zoe, but definitely feels very strong in those early levels.
A lot of versatility within that build. Of course, the spellbook changes, adding a bit more cooldown reduction to the change. So not cooldown reduction, cooldown to the spellbook itself and changing through the summon spells.
The initial cooldown is now 300 seconds rather than 240, so moving from 4 minutes to 5. Yep. Though you still do get the first one at 6 minutes, so that hasn't changed.
But still, a lot of changes in 10-15. Lilia played by Vici the other day. If anyone didn't see that, Le Yen picked it up. The first and only game so far in the LPL.
Xiaopeng actually also did play it the series before. I actually missed that out as well, so a fan pointed that to me on Twitter. So thank you, fan, for that. But yep, so we have 2 games going that phase rush route. Is going to be really interesting to see. I have a bunch of Lilia notes because I'm like, hey, Champion's new. We got to be prepared. But I didn't expect either of these junglers to be the one to bring it out. Ning and Hacker are both, I'd say, like creatures of habit.
But I've seen weirder things from Ning, just saying. Although, his weirder things are always his pocket picks, like his Kane and Zac.
Zac, yeah, exactly.
But you're right.
I'm happy we haven't seen his Kane, but...
Oh, man.
We saw Konami's Kane.
Oh, we did. And you didn't want to see that again.
Yeah, we saw it twice. But yeah, Ning this split at least has very much been about his few set champions that have worked well, right? Early on, it was all about the Lee Sin in the Trundle, and then once he discovered the Volibear and then moving on to the set, it's been all about those 2 champions. Has really stayed away from things like the Grave, so he tried to pick it up early on, but it doesn't fit IG's playstyle, right? It doesn't fit their identity. You already have enough people who are trying to be the star carries of their team.
Very true. You
don't also need to, you know, take that role yourself.
I was just looking across the champion pool. The Shy's played Quinn top 3 games, of course, in Renekton. And I was looking at his depth of champions once again. I believe he's up to 14 individual top laners. So.
I know he plays too many because they take up too much space on my notes.
Yep.
But you know another thing I remember about this match from spring? This was the series right after the Suning one, where if you remember, the Shy completely disrespected Bubu with the Ornn to Shy solo killed him. Then he tried to do the same thing. He bought the Doran's Blade against Curse.
It didn't go well, though, did it?
Curse solo killed him.
That's right.
Curse showed the Shy in spring, hey, you cannot disrespect me with your Doran's Blade Ornn.
That was the hilarity from there, I think, from IG.
And it was me and you doing that series as
well. It was, actually, yeah. So we're doing it again. Did we do the IG Suning this split as well?
I think we did. We did.
Because the thing is, like, a lot of splits, I do a lot of Invictus games.
Me
but
too.
this split, I haven't done as much.
I've done, I think this is like 10th series or something of them.
Oh, really? Because I've done every OMG series, essentially, bar one.
You are the expert of OMG.
I mean, I just know they play towards top side. It's not hard when you watch a lot of OMG.
If any of you want to know random tidbits about OMG, you know, just message us Eric's in Twitch chat, send him a message on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows it all.
So I was talking up Eric. I was actually looking across Game of Legends for a bit. I just noticed Eric has a British flag next to him, but I don't believe he's British. I was wondering about that. I thought that's very interesting.
I mean, you never know.
You never know, of course. Just because from, you know, other sources, he's, you know, born here. So anyway, look, it's time for fun stats time. Sir, who has the most damage on Invictus Gaming? Who's got the highest damage percentage? You just looked at my notes, didn't you?
I actually can't see because of glare, but my guess is Rookie.
No, it's actually the Shy.
Is it really?
Shy's still 29% of IG's damage. Rookie is 27.6.
It's not too surprising when you factor in a lot of his like lane matchups, like the champions mix, right? He's Jace's most played now. This is 10th game of Jace.
Yeah.
He's played Kennen, he's played Gnar, he's played Quinn. Like those are his most played. They're all ranged champions. You're typically playing into things like Mordekaiser and Ornn, so you're getting free autos and free damage off in lane the whole time. But though I say it's obvious now, I didn't guess it. So
it's hard though, because it does change. You're right, Rookie does rise up in the number. The main thing we can say, it's never the 80 carry. Not anymore because Jackie Love's no longer on the roster.
You know what surprised me? I think we talked about this the other day, that I think it was V5 that Weiwei has almost the same damage percentage as Sam D and Bubu.
Oh,
Or
really?
Small and Bubu. It's like they were all around 20%. And
I
it was
can check
really
it,
surprising.
Because that's actually quite insane for a jungle. Let's have a look. He's 17% right now. He's close to Bubu. Hang on, music's changed. Yeah, we're getting into it. We apologize for the delay, ladies and gentlemen. As we get our bows from Pianju and Fly exiting the stage. About to go into game number 1. A little bit sad not to see Kalista in the top lane, but still the Shy back on Jace for his 10th game is going to be interesting, where Bubu is going to show us on his 8th game of Ornn how he manages to survive.
I'm excited because this is the Puff redemption arc. Puff gets his hands on Kalista. This is my favorite part of the series.
Well, it's only just started. IG, as a collective, are undefeated on Kalista, by the way. 2 games in total. It's a very simple stat to say. They've won 2 games with Kalista. Will this be a 3rd? Or will OMG put a nail into IG's forehead? I don't know. Sounds painful. Only if OMG can do it, though. Scaling versus the ball of IG as usual. As we return to the Rift for game number 1. IG 11-3. And aiming for higher seeding for playoffs. As we welcome you to Summoner's Rift. Look at this. It's like playing Assassin's Creed. They're loading the scene. You know, you're in Animus. And this is where we are.
You know, I kind of expected the Gyos.
But it's not IG Day. It was only BLG Day before. That's why we got the Gyos. What?
We have Unsealed Spellbook.
Yeah, we do. Rookie doesn't care.
Rookie does not care about having to wait that extra 60 seconds.
He's a patient man. Although, how he plays. Do you think, would you call Rookie a patient player?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
You'd call him a great player.
Yes.
Playing some of his best League of Legends
One of
right
the
now.
best. If not, you know, I don't want to throw out the best title just loosely, but...
Hey, I went on a show and did it.
You did?
A lot of fans were very upset with me. They said, you know, what about Chovy, Showmaker? People put Faker in, but Faker right now, you know, not playing the best League of Legends. But it is a discussion that I can't wait to have as we head towards Worlds. IG, a team right now that is heading towards there themselves. We have to talk about this game. You mentioned how the snowballing nature of IG needs to come through to poke the siege and how IG needs to get this game rolling.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, you have the Jace, you have the Kalista, you have the Zoe, a lot of champions that do come online, you know, at that 1 to 2 item mark. So you also have three lanes of pressure. We already seen the top lane right now on the minimap that the Shy is completely bullying out Curse. If Rookie wants to push the lane in the early levels, he definitely can, just throwing out those paddle stars at the back line.
A stretch line here. It is a Kalista with Halo Blades for Puff. SMLZ at half, but Severum, of course, will slowly heal him up.
Also, press the attack on the Aphelios.
Yeah.
So that is something
A lot of healing
interesting about 10-15, you're right. Also having the overheal and the Legend Bloodline. But still, we do expect Kalista to have early pressure in this laning phase. So, like I said, Ning should have 3 lanes of pressure. So, I'm kind of interested to see how he decides to play it out. Because, obviously, Jace is a type of champion who at least wants vision. So, he can bully out his matchup, try to chunk down those turret plates and get ahead. But when you do have Kalista and Nautilus in the bot lane, that obviously signals, hey, we're going for more kill pressure. They even first picked the Kalista. And sure, it was a flex for IG, but... I'd say I want to see if Ning can start influencing this matchup maybe around that level 3 mark. We do see them getting the push into turrets, so they are going to get the bounce back in about a minute. So
he did talk heavily about Ning paying more attention to the bottom lane.
We had a clip of it. We had a clip of Ning ganking bot, something we have not seen on IG, you know, outside of the recent weeks in a long time.
And only thing more bizarre is Ning walking through mid, right? What we talked about in previous weeks with Ning and Rookie having interactions. Direct interactions in the laning phase. So the potential's still there. Bit of deep vision gained here from IG, but OMG defensive line themselves, while Hackers in the bottom lane, just clearing up this Gromp and thinking about going bot.
Yep, he's going to try to get this gank off first.
Sora with the play, exhausted down onto Puff. He's trying to kite his way away. Gets the flash with a hook from Sora. Beautifully done. First blood over to Hacker. Balan trying to trade the heal to get him out. Forward he goes with the flash here. Bit of glitch, but Ning's come in. This is a PTA Trundle with teleport on the way. SMLZ may get the kill, but Ning gets the chomp down. And Sora has no chance if the Shy's in for this one as well. Good dodge away. And this Jace who TP'd in got the kill too.
And overall, that was a nice play coming out from OMG to start off. Very
Yep.
intelligent gank, gonna go for the bot lane kills to transition that into a Scuttle Crab. But guess what? Ning was around the area. Good job by IG's bot lane to buy enough time despite Puff going down. Balan pretty much soloing out SMLZ.
Yeah.
Ning comes in, the Shy comes in, and they pick up 3 kills to 2. Feels really nice for the side of IG.
Got a bit of a even gold state even after that, though. We'll watch this again because Hacker was in first.
And Sora coming in with a really nice play onto 2 members and lands the hook onto Puff, which pretty much guarantees his kill for Hacker being the one to pick it up in the end. But even here, it looked like Balan was going to be able to take him down. Does secure that for himself. Ning gets in, and Ning just dealing so much damage. You already mentioned the PTA also has the red buff, so going to Chomp to finish off that kill. The Shy coming in, and it does guarantee this last kill. It gave Curse a bit more wiggle room in top lane.
But he's back again. Ning ganking the bottom lane in SMLZ against the wall. He's just dead. Sora now locked down. And immediately for IG, bottom is fed.
And overall, this goes back to what we said. We said, hey, we'd rather see Ning playing towards the bot lane rather than towards top side with the Shy. And even the last play left the lane in a very good place.
As Curse now with the Bellows Breath wants to trade back. But for the Shy, doing still a great job running into this Ornn. But as you were saying, yeah, the bottom lane now with 2 kills. Ning playing towards it has just made this look pretty good.
Ooh.
As Rookie sends a trouble bubble out, has to flash as Hacker walks in.
Yep, the trouble bubble going not wide, just outright missing because Icon did not walk forward. So a bit unfortunate for the side of IG having to lose that summoner, but at least it is a Zoe. At least you are going to have windows to pick up, you know, things like, you know, proto belts for minions and
Sure.
things along that line, ghosts.
A good job of Hacker, even despite the bottom lane play going towards IG. Hacker still trying to be active on the map here as he crosses through mid, takes the flash away, a chance to regank that lane. Spellbook will be up pretty shortly.
This is also why Azir as a champion is so nice, because he's one of the only scaling mages that I'd say in most matchups can fight for priority, can fight for push, especially if he took something like Lethal Tempo, which we don't see a lot of Azirs take anymore. But the point is you have options, you have rune choices, you have, you know, items, trade patterns that allow Azir to contest pretty much anyone.
It's been Icon's best performing champion as of recently. Not something that in the past you'd consider, oh, Icon's an Azir player.
That was the champion that led to OMG winning over Suning, with that carry performance coming from him. So nice to see him back on that champion.
Small CS lead in the lane as the common Azir, but should be evening out while Rookie's heading towards the bottom lane. But I also believe he was spotted out.
And we also
things
see
were just getting thrown down.
Ning is here as well.
Yep.
So going to go control vision in the enemy jungle, it looks like, and they could start hovering bot side, maybe threaten a potential dive.
There's already a massive CS lead. Puff has the Cutlass already in his inventory. I mean, this Callista's quite large, so if they get on this bottom lane of OMG, Puff's going to get more kills.
It goes back to that first dive where the wave was left pushing into IG.
True.
I'm going to slow down because it looks like the dive is going to come through.
Okay, Ning is level 6 already. Holy moly. SMLZ paying respect, grabbing him there. Pillar out onto Sora. TP being burned. Drenchline doesn't connect from Balan. IG have to escape with the teleport flying through to Curse. Brings in Call the Forge God. Puff doesn't dodge away. Left in place, searing charge with no knock up here. The Bellows Breath for damage. He kites it out for a bit, but exhausted down. Gravitum saves the day. And SMLZ gets a massive shutdown.
Yeah, and overall IG going a bit too far forward, looking for that dive. And even had Puff gone the other way, I think he was pretty much dead with Curse coming in. Actually, it actually could have been worse in my opinion, because then you could have hit a Call the Forge God onto multiple members of IG.
Uh-oh. But SMLZ wants to push up this wave.
And Ning's still here.
Will Crescendum save the day? I don't know. Dark Passage taken. Here comes Balan, who didn't back away. SMLZ has 6, Sephram available, and the overheal, remember. But the hook not connecting means SMLZ has no hope. Dies after using his ulti, and Sora once again being dove. Balan takes it up for a bit and ends it there. Sora does live, but a kill goes over to Balan, who now has a bounty.
Just a cheeky play coming out from IG's bot lane. Balan hiding in that bush and Ning staying around. We look at the bot side river with all the vision control they have. So going to be nice to keep denying CS, you know, from SMLZ and keep snowballing Puff forward despite the death. But hey, SMLZ's hit 2,000 kills.
Yeah, he has. And normally our broadcast brings it up, but we'll see. It'll be like that realization here for SMLZ. I believe he's number 8 in the league for most kills. So another congratulations to SMLZ. That is information I can find out. But while we congratulate SMLZ picking up the bounty on the shutdown of Puff. We have to remember that Puff got back into lane sooner, got the push here for 2 bits of turret plating, and is 20 CS up. And we return to Ning, who's hovering around mid, but so is Hacker, who's been farming the whole time he was engaging bot.
Yep, and the thing is, as we can see now, that the Shy is pressure top, so OMG not going to be able to start this Herald up without SMLZ here and looking to start this fight. Another thing is, I was going to say, look at the mana values in mid. Rookie is completely out of mana.
Yes, he is.
So no team wanting to look for the Herald necessarily with kind of the states of different lanes.
It's been a pretty interesting early game. One that very IG favored at the moment with a 2k gold lead. We talked about them having to get off the ground. OMG want this game to pace out and get towards those all-ins with the team fighting.
IG definitely want more of these early game river skirmishes coming out. Looks like, yep, the Blade of the Rune King coming out for Puff, and so he's at his, apex of strength right now. The Shy also very strong, finally picked the Mana Immune, and having the Zoe right, when you have these river skirmishes, that is where all the summoner spells start coming out that you can abuse, have more mobility in the team fights, get the damage out from your W as well, which actually feels pretty good.
Oh yeah. And Rookie Zoe, if people haven't seen it before, there's actually an old clip from 2018 of Rookie getting a triple kill with one single paddle star. Pretty high up in the Twitch clip back end here of our Twitch channel. Something I always go back to for a bit of hype. But IG, meanwhile, even on this ward, are going to be picking up the Rift Herald.
Also nice by them, they did the swap very well to where the Shy went bot lane, so ideally they shouldn't be able to lose out any pressure, anywhere, at least losing out any XP, but with the fact that Hacker could be down here, we do see the Shy going for Krugs.
Cold Forge God going to be used on this duo lane. Depth charge burnt by Baolan. Doesn't really net much. He goes to half, he gets ignited down, Herald gets dropped. First turret will be secured here by Invictus Gaming as Ning is just an annoyance on top of Curse. And they want the inner turret from this as well. Empress Divide lands onto Rookie. He has the flash available, drops the ignite first, tries to kite around. Bit of damage under this turret, but he survives. Sora unable to get the hook distance. Rookie to walk away.
And Icon just been playing so well recently.
Yeah.
In the past 3 series, Icon has actually looked like a phenomenal player.
Red Line put down Ignite as well. Fate's Call used to dodge from the aggro. It's now Ning who gets caught up and survives. This turret's dead. Straight towards the push.
2 turrets to none because OMG haven't even picked up the bot side tier 1 turret yet. Looks like it should be going down with Hacker now hovering, taking Dragon and Icon as well. But, starting off with the play, I was actually kind of favoring OMG because it's like, hey, you're dodging out on the Ornn versus Jace matchup. You're also getting some gold onto SMLZ, who's being denied heavily in the 2v2. But now with the massive gold swing and tempo advantage they got off of, already being done with those 2 turrets, so we can see on our minimap Puff and Balan coming back. Obviously, massive advantage for IG. But it is also what their comp needs.
Yeah, 3k gold lead now. Has to continue forward at 11, 12 minutes into the game. I'm just looking across the board. And yeah, Icon with the CS lead once again. In the previous series when he played the Azir, always ahead of the clock. He's at 120 right now, just about at 12 minutes into the game. So he's matching. And he's beating Rookie at Rookie's own game. Rookie has been the mid laner who's been averaging like a 20 CS lead at the 15-20 minute mark himself.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why it's the most impressive, right? Because Rookie has been our hands down the most dominant laning mid laner in the LPL.
As Lockdown is Icon.
Right? I felt like as I was saying that he was about to pick up a solo kill,
Good
but
timing.
IG on the bottom side of the map just going to guarantee some more plate gold for their carry.
I mean, Puff is pretty large. He has a double dagger and Blade of the Rune King at 12 minutes in the game. Baolan shadowing with Rookie now joining. Hacker's over the wall. He's going to stop this, but Rookie's going to spot him out. The hook lands, but I'm not sure anymore. With the depth charge laid down, Hacker lucky he gets out. Thanks to the Dark Passage.
I love that you use the word lucky because had that Sleepy Trouble Bubble just gone a bit to the right, it looked like Hacker would have been dead and being extremely greedy with that E forward.
And now setting up for the fight. Here comes the TP. It's earlier than OMG. The Dredge Line once again into the box. But Hacker is burned out quickly. Has to flash away from the fight. Now for IG. They turn for the rest. The Shy is zoned off SMLZ, who has the most gold. Puff going forward. But the Rain doesn't finish off the kill. Baolan with a re-engage, and he's out of mana now. Icon doesn't get anyone with the ulti. And Rookie tries to get over the walls. SMLZ kills the Shy. He's going to flash forward in for this. He wants SMLZ. The Paddle Star connects. The heal's there. The auto attack. But the hook from Sora does enough work. And Rookie fakes the flash to get away.
And that was extremely close and all over the place, honestly. We saw that Curse was there first. He'd walk down from top lane. Obviously, there are no turrets or anything to give over to the Shy anymore, so has a very easy time getting here first. The Shy committing TP in a very awkward place, which set up for that solo kill that SMLZ found onto the Shy. And then just everything was a bit too short onto the members of OMG, right? Onto the Aphelios, onto the Graves, where they weren't able to finish off any of these kills.
But the problem is, even after all that comes through and you see some light for OMG, IG do this again. Puff has just picked up his second 5-round of plating on a turret, but we'll talk about that in a second.
And at the same time, right, this is not how IG wants to take their fights. Like, they're the comp we said wants to be playing from range with the Zoe and the Jace, so they're right in the middle of all of OMG's members, but they're so far ahead they're still able to come out on top. They need to dedicate a few flashes, but let's see how SMLZ secures this one.
Just ulti flash,
yeah,
okay.
Ult flash auto, you know.
Didn't respect.
Still overall nice from SMLZ to be able to pick that one up.
Yeah, absolutely. 2001. Now we start counting. We start counting towards the 3K.
SMLZ having a decent game so far. Like, I mean, you were hard focused by IG's jungle and mid, and we saw how much vision control they had very early on. Still 2 Drakes up. I don't think they are too far and out of this game. Nope. They're down about 4K gold, but
if SMLZ dies here with rain available, Fate's Call used onto the Aphelios, he's just dead. Puff has a Zeal, and he has the Ninja Tabi against SMLZ.
You know, I don't really believe in the caster curse, especially when I listen to you guys. I don't feel like it ever happens, but whenever I praise a player, they always go down right after.
That is very true. You ready for Curse to die here? Because the Shy's running in with Ning. And he's now in a very awkward position. The damage kited out, knocked against. Call the Forge God great, but Subjugate burn. And the Shy picks up his second kill. While Baolan's walking into this. Be the death sentence, the box placed down. Puff trying to kite his way, but that flash was not good. And Icon only just survives, but the thing is, he hit everything. As Rookie does the same with the Trouble Bubble, but outranged at the moment. And a good pick from OMG.
And that was just greedy pathing, to where you could even see on the minimap, right? No one was showing, no one was in bot catching the wave, no one was in mid catching the wave. All they had to do is walk behind the corridor behind Dragon towards mid. Would have been way safer. They opt to walk through River. All of OMG's there, they get picked off. Well,
OMG, every time they find a pick like this, tempo evens out a little bit. It's of course still a 5K gold lead. Evens out a little bit. Even 4K, sorry. Point math is sometimes hard.
I was going to say, I'm glad you caught that, because that's going to be one of those ones where I'm like, do I call him out on it?
You should. Always call me out. You ready for Dragon in 5 seconds, though? Because the Cloud Rift and Cloud Dragons, the number 4 for IG to pick up. 2 more for OMG to threaten Sol.
And just to remind once again, the name of the game for OMG is, these front-to-back team fights where, Curse can find these engages or, counter engages.
Yep.
We see that SMLZ and Icon get the room to deal damage. To where for IG, it really feels like they need to lay down the punishment before the fight starts. With their item advantages, as we saw in the last fight, it might be a lot closer than it should be. I mean, there we go.
That'll start it. Hacker gets chunked out, has to back away. The rest of OMG say, forget the Dragon, let's go to Herald.
And I like this choice, because actually, you have 2 Dragons already. IG are so far away from picking up Soul, and you don't have to worry about anything like an Elder anytime soon, so just give that one up, get something elsewhere, because guess what? You're buying time, and that's all that matters.
But meanwhile, the Shy is going to be hitting this turret. So in a turret going down for the Herald. Might be okay for OMG if they can find something from this Herald. Let's give it over to SMLZ. Dark Passage gets him to safety, and IG can't punish him, but Solo Lane has got some gold there.
And Rookie being the...
You saw that, yeah.
Loving big brother and hovering over.
Now, while there's a highlight on the Shy, while we just get this quick moment, I want to remind everyone that the Shy is currently 1,004 kills in his career to 1,070 deaths. He has more career deaths still, but his recent performance has pushed him up into more kills. The stretch line connects. We start off the fight, just burnt down his Icon, who enters the bounce house himself. Cold Forge God only hits Rookie, but OMG Ascent packing, and Rookie keeps hitting these Trouble Bubbles. Now against the wall, goes gold in the nick of time. Sora ready for the Death Sentence. Perfect timing as well. And OMG get the pick for their turret. Again, making sure it doesn't go any further than that 4.5K.
Honestly, overall, I just don't understand the initial dredge line coming out from Balan. You were sieging down the turret, you were taking the turret. You have a bunch of great angles with the terrain for a Rookie to keep throwing out Sleepy Trouble Bubbles over those walls to try to set up for a, an easier pick.
Could be because he has a bounty and thinks he's invincible.
Could be it. Could be the confidence play. IG and confidence plays, they feel like synonyms.
But that feels like a very Baolan thing to do, which is why he's always fit into this roster so well.
Baolan is very alpha, if that's what you are trying to say.
And from memory, it was a very noisy member when he was on the roster in 2018, in 2019. As onto Icon, the Shy does a bit of damage here with the unstacked Manamune.
Especially up against Icon, right? Like, if you're put up against someone like Curse, who has the armor, you know, you built lethality, you're not going to hit as hard, but against the Icon, up against Icon, not the Icon, you are going to do a ton of damage.
The Shy, the Icon, trying to line close here. Great pillar, but Hacker is still too far away. SMLZ and Sora are joining, and Sora's Thresh has been pretty key in this game so far. Icon's walking into this lane. It's hammer time. Shock Blast misses, though. The Shy still walking forward. Icon in with the ultimate himself, and the Shy's burning down. Icon ready for the soldier, just kills him, and that'll add one more death to the mix.
Oh, God. Just as you're praising him, like about to catch up for his career kills versus deaths, just as it happens, we see the Shy look for this play. And hey, actually, we can see how it was supposed to work out. We can see why he went for it.
But he did miss everything.
Yes, he did.
I mean, the one thing is the Shock Blast, and he missed that. So.
I mean, he missed a Shock Blast. He obviously hammered onto the minions, you know, trying to close the distance. So not really having many damage tools left up.
Rookie. Hello.
Ooh.
Oh, blue buff was given over, and he hit the trouble bubble. Rookie's walking in. Ning's beside him. Hacker at low health. Subjugate used, and this Zoe just set up a play that shouldn't even exist.
No, overall great play coming out from Rookie. I'm actually surprised he got the blue buff, but bought enough time for Ning to show up. Ults, throws down the pillar, and just a very easy 1-2 for the side of IG.
Just Rookie things again, I'd say as well. Ning does pick up the kill, but he's now 2-0-6 with a bounty himself. IG is starting Baron.
I've rewatched a lot of recent IG series, and they do this more than any other team in the league.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, trouble bubble landing again as OMG look to check. Teleport was burnt too. The Rift Herald placed on mid, but IG don't care. Teleport from OMG to bring Curse into the fray. Icon has ulti again as Rookie pokes on over. Sora's hook does not connect. Teleport is not there because it's Smite, that comes through. IG just pick up the Baron, and they're out. They want to re-engage. Fate's call is in. Call the Forge God to disengage, but the poke is massive. Not only pick up Baron, they're picking up the kill and trying to hit Curse next. SMLZ, the core factor in this fight, but he too will die as Hacker tries to join in. Is flashed on by the Shy. And with the movement speed from the acceleration gate, they still want to kill Curse. Baolan doesn't have enough mana. Searing charge for the turnaround. Icon dodges through. The ultimate doesn't do too much. And boy, oh boy, did IG do it again.
And I don't know how IG always get away with this with these sneaky Barons. Oh, obviously, they got the pick onto Hacker to start off with. We're only 20 minutes into the game. This is not the kind of stuff that should happen, but still great engage off of that coming from Puff with the Fate's Call. They go in aggressive, like you said. They get the speed up coming from the Shy. And a bunch of kills, and guess what? They lost a mid lane turret for it. Who cares?
Who cares? Because they picked up the Baron and then did this.
Yep, and we see the Fate's Call coming out from Puff. Baolan goes in aggressively. Great Nautilus ultimate onto SMLZ. They just all are able to run forward. You now have the numbers advantage coming out. Doesn't even matter how tanky Curses has to flash away aggressively. SMLZ then getting taken down by Puff. And I mean, from here, it was just, you know, easy pickings, like you said. They keep running forward. We're going to see Ning be able to throw down another pillar quite soon. Actually, Curse going in aggressively, and even on the left side of our screen, seeing IG pick up another dragon.
And you know what? All of a sudden, 7K. With Baron in hand, with the dragon you just mentioned, 20% CDR. And you got a Jace, and you got a Zoe who can hide in this fog of war. And when things like this keep happening, OMG have to start fearing Rookie, who's 2-1-6.
That's the thing. Is I honestly feel like Zoe feels like the most oppressive champion in the game from being ahead. Again, just the angles you can take advantage of for your Subi Trouble Bubble and your portal jump with your paddle stars.
And when you're lacking vision as well, you know, out of nowhere they fly. The Jace here on IG is just sending shock blasts through the middle.
And, you know, not really any MR coming out on any of the squishy members for OMG yet, so we're going to get a ton of value from the Source Boots plus Oblivion Orb combo right now.
What did you say the average game time of IG was? 30 minutes?
It was about that. I think it was 30 minutes and some seconds.
Well, this should put down the average by a little bit at this point.
It was the second lowest.
As here's the lowest DMO.
It was actually B5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I think you talked about that in previous broadcasts. When they win, they win. 23 minutes, though, and Inhibitor gone. The Shy is doing a bucket load of damage at this point. And now that the mid inhibitor's gone, the sieging that you talked about, very much available for IG to continue through top.
Yeah, IG just going to rotate over. They still have the Baron, as you talked about. And this is what's so scary, right? We talked about Zoe and how she can play over terrain with these bubbles with the Paddle Star. The Shy also being able to throw out those Qs.
Sora hitting some of his might be crucial for OMG to hold this defense, but Puff is already so fed. Giga fed is the word I'd use with 3 items. Now picked up in the Death Dance. The Shy's coming in for the flank, and the Wombo that doesn't always exist is now there. Half health for everyone in OMG. Sora the next target. Nice Empress Divide from Icon, but IG only know how to go forward. And in 24 minutes, they will absolutely spank OMG with the quadra kill over to Puff.
And this is exactly the performance we expect out of a team that's just 2-0 top esports. Going to be a very easy and clean game coming out from IG.
Easy, clean, fun, ultimately supreme in Game 1. Invictus Gaming, once again, continue their win streak and make an OMG look like flies.
And once again, another amazing performance by Ning.
Yep.
To me, the MVP of this game was Ning. Looked absolutely amazing on that Trundle. We saw all the early pressure he was putting in the bottom lane, kept finding these great